Hi, my name's Jackie,
I'm AJ.
and we're doing the holiday powwows. They started in the early 19th century. Some other words for them are a celebration, doing fair, feast, festival, gathering, show, and union. Um, Powwow, the closest English word for it is meeting.
It evolved from grass dance societies, and it was an opportunity for warriors to reenact deeds for all members of the tribe to see. Many tribes come together from all over for these powwows. It's called intertribalism, and it began to emerge with the sharing of songs, dance, clothing, art, and food.
Um, Native Americans really stand tall on giving and generosity. It became a key part of powwows. They also have dance competitions at powwows. During these times, a lot of competition. There'll be judges, and you can win money as well. Um, it was a way to express the culture of the tribe. Um, the key parts of it is just like honor, respect, tradition, and generosity.
It's used to honor warriors, and at the beginning of a powwow, they'll have all of the veterans come out and carry the flags out, and it'll be a time to show respect to them. And it's used to celebrate successful hunts, thank spirits for harvests, and Native Americans are big believers in things that are living, spiritual, and they view life and death as an inevitable circle.
They usually last about 2 to 3 days with dance competitions every day. It's a celebration of their culture, brings a lot of different tribes together, and also reunites families. Um, it's also very important, instead of it being a ceremony, it's more of a social gathering. Ceremonies are more private, not everyone's included. At a social gathering, everyone wants Native Americans want everyone to know their culture and experience that culture shock.
And for smaller powwows, it's usually contained to just the tribe and the surrounding non-tribal community. But larger competition tribes from all over the North America come to uh, compete in these dancing competitions. And yeah,
They vary. Sometimes they can be from a few hundred people, and sometimes they're very large to a few over 1,000 people. Um, all tribes participate in powwows. They vary in the different kind of um, things they include in their powwows, depending on like the tribe.
um, the powwows. I grew up on a Indian reservation, and the powwows I've attended, there are a lot of vendors around the dancing ground that sell traditional dishes and clothing, art, jewelry, stuff like that. So it's really an important way for the tribe to share its culture with the surrounding communities and get people to learn about them. And also on the subject of bringing the tribe together, tribal governments will usually hold a powwow on holidays like 4th of July, New Year's, stuff like that, so that um, the tribe can get together, and it's a way for the tribe to avoid unhealthy habits like the drinking problem on a lot of reservations. It's a way to avoid that and have everyone come together and have a good, healthy, safe time.
Um, we actually do have a local powwow. It's held in Seattle um, by the little water fountain thing downtown by Space Needle. You can experience that culture shock and just like there'll be people dressed in like their full like Native American traditional clothing. Traditional food will be sold, jewelry. It's really unique, and people put a lot of thought and pride into everything they're selling and doing. They'll have dances there for you to see and witness. And it's something really amazing and just beautiful on how like they express their own culture and how they just have that pride for their culture.
And I interviewed my best friend's mom about this. She is a member of the tribe, and so we got some of this information from her. And some of the um, some of the dances that she mentioned are uh, the traditional dances, jingle dances, where the outfit that they wear is covered in bells, and grass dances. And so people will they'll like uh, take classes to learn these dances. So it's like a sport, and they'll make their own regalia. So these beautiful, colorful dresses made out of bells, feathers, grass, stuff like that, and it's just really amazing seeing all of these people come out onto the field and in these homemade dresses and dance to these huge drums that people play the songs on, and yeah.
I think it's also very important just because of like the history that Native Americans have had and everything they've dealt with, and just having lost their culture for the longest time, just being able to revive that and go back to how times were once, and just being able to express that culture.
Yeah, and the intertribalism, when the tribes were displaced by uh, the colonies, and it gives a great way for the tribes to unite, come back together in their shared Native American heritage. I know that the Oneidan tribe that I grew up around, they were split into four different locations from their original home in New York to Wisconsin and places in Montreal. So it's a great way for these fractured tribes to come back together and compete in a friendly manner and celebrate their culture.
Okay, can we all rise, please? Honor this song.
Everyone who does attend these powwows and gets the chance to see how everything is done, um, they really they just become folklorists for that day. They get firsthand experience in this culture and learning about it and learning personal stories, like talking to Native Americans and how they grew up and their stories, growing up in a tribe and their traditions.
And it's also very informal. These dances and these songs are handed down from person to person.
It's not something you can just read in a book and completely understand and like take in. It's something you really just need to experience personally.